But for just a moment, I want to draw the attention of those watching and to the speaker to an issue of Pastor Saeed Abedini. He is an American, originally from Iran, who is now incarcerated for 8 years, this is his sentence in Iran, for crimes, as they define it, that happened 13 years ago. And this is a question of religious freedom which involves an American citizen who happens now to be abroad. Pastor Abedini is 33 years old, was born in Iran, there converted from Islam to Christianity. Here, that would not be a big deal because we have religious freedom. Theoretically, so does Iran. In his early 20s, he helped start house churches. It was legal to do so. At some point, he moved to the United States and married his wife, who I gather is also originally her family from Iran. They have 2 children. They live in Idaho. He went back to Iran to work on a non-sectarian orphanage. He was arrested by the state police, incarcerated at first, they said, for activities disruptive to the state. Now they apparently are attributing it to his work in house churches in the around the year 2000. But he has been incarcerated, imprisoned, and is tortured. He's been taken to the hospital a couple of occasions. The physician recommended that he be admitted to a hospital. The Iranian government will not allow it. He's gone to seek medical care at another occasion. The nurse refused to touch him, saying that because he was a Christian or if he had been Baha'i, either, she would not touch him. So here we have a fellow, an American, who is being imprisoned for activities which happened 13 years ago in a country which is a signatory to the UN Declaration of Human Rights, in which someone may have religious freedom. Now, it is upon we as Americans, if you're a person of faith, to pray for the Abedini family. If you're a person not necessarily of faith but just believe in human rights, this is something which should be incredibly important to you. If you're just a person who has compassion for a 33-year-old man whose wife and 2 children are here alone, as he's being imprisoned and tortured for no other crime than attempting to start an orphanage for children who might not have another option, even that would offend someone who is of no faith whatsoever. So what can we as Americans do? One, we have to draw attention to it. We have a resolution that has been submitted that calls upon the U.S. State Department to intervene on his behalf. And in fairness, the State Department has attempted to do so in the past, but there is some feeling they could do more. And for the Iranian government to free him. So, one, we have this resolution before the members of Congress. If you're watching this, ask your member of Congress to sign on to this resolution. It has bipartisan support now. Number 2, contact our State Department and ask them to redouble their efforts to free Pastor Abedini. And number 3, include he and his family in your prayers. We can only imagine if our loved one was abroad, in prison, being tortured, without access to health care, and what that would mean for both wife, children, but also parents. And then lastly, join us all in admiration for a man in his commitment to the people whom he loves, was willing to risk something that he knew might be a possibility as he was living out his faith, caring for those, treating those as he would have them treat him, but as an impulse of his faith, going to those who were otherwise without care. So thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of Pastor Abedini, and I thank you for having this discussion of religious freedom here tonight, and I yield back.